Today we're going to start a new series of videos specifically for Patreon and YouTube members, and we're going to build a bunch of neck-through guitars. Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. About a week ago, I posted onto my Patreon page that, let me just read it to you. It says, Matt wants to do an all-new series of videos just for you. There are quite a few new members and I want to do a series of videos specifically for y'all. I'd like to have it be something like build a guitar from start to finish because we build guitars from start to finish and it seems like a good thing to do. I'd like to have a few live ones and a few pre-recorded ones, but most importantly, I'd like everyone here to tell me what they would like to see. So tell me what you would like to see. And the overwhelming majority of people wanted to see things like neck-through construction ideas and neck to body angle and, you know, build a guitar from start to finish, do finish work and everything. So I got to thinking about this. And it occurred to me that I could do a whole video series and we can touch on all of those things, and it would be exclusive to Patreon and YouTube members. Now, if you're not a member of Patreon and YouTube, that's okay. You can sign up. It's only $1 a month, or you can still watch the other videos that we do, and you can still comment on, you know, the live things that we do, and you can watch all the other videos that we're normally going to do on Sunday. If you don't want to. Remember, you don't have to sign up on Patreon to see these videos, but I do want to do something that's kind of an exclusive deal so that people on Patreon get a little something extra. Now, if you decide that you don't want to sign up on Patreon, but you want to see this video series, what do you do then? Well, I'm actually going to put this all together in a video class, a video workshop, if you will, that you can buy for, I don't know, whatever it's going to be. We haven't actually made the videos yet, but this will be a video that that you can buy and you can see all of the stuff. It'll be distilled down and edited, and it will be halfway professional looking because Joy is going to help me with that. And I think it'll be really fun. And don't be surprised if you see some more stuff like this in the future. In fact, at the end of this video, there will be a live Q&A where I can address some Q's and I can give some A's. And so make sure to join me for that, whether you're a Patreon member or not. Let me go ahead and answer some questions right off the bat. Why are we doing this? Because Patreon members specifically asked for it. Do I think neck-through body construction is super cool? Yeah, sure. Is it harder to do than regular bolt-on or set neck construction? I think so. Does it offer any sonic capabilities that the other two neck styles that are commonly used don't? No, probably not. But anyway, so if those were your questions about neck-through, there they are. They're answered. But I would still like it if you would join me for the live stream immediately following this video. Now, if you have some very specific questions about neck-through and things like that, I would like for you to get those ready and ask them during the live stream. Like I said, that's coming up right after this one. I'm going to be at my house hanging out, and we'll hang out for another, I don't know, 20 minutes or half hour, and we'll talk specifically about neck-through. Don't ask me a bunch of questions about truss rods and frets and stuff like that. We're only going to be talking about neck-through stuff. Cool? Okay. Oh, let me answer this question for you too. Can we paint it green and have gold hardware? Yeah, sure, whatever you want. Okay, all right. We can pretty much do anything you want. So let's talk a little bit about some of the theory and a little bit of the history of neck-through. I'm going to show you some of the lumber that we're going to be using in this series, but this is just kind of to get your appetite wet a little bit. So you can see what we're going to be up to. Like I said, this video series is going to be some live ones, like the one right after this video, some pre-recorded ones, and it's all going to be available at the end of it all in a condensed video book, if you will, of me building neck-through guitars. So you can watch it all at once if you want, or you can sign up on Patreon if you haven't already. You can watch it. There's going to be lots and lots of content. Okay, so neck-through history. I don't know exactly who the first person to build a neck through guitar, electric guitar was, but I'm willing to bet you that if you're as old as I am, and I'm old, the first person that kind of got you interested in neck through guitars was Bernie Rico from BC Ridge. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb. If Paul Reed Smith is the reason that you like quilted maple blue guitars, Bernie Rico is the reason that you like neck through guitars. But there's been, of course, lots of others. Rickenbacker has made a bunch of neck through instruments. The 4001 is a neck through bass, arguably one of the coolest looking basses of all time. But I think Bernie Rico kind of got everybody into that, and fancy woods and stringers and neat stuff like that. Of course, there's been others. We're going to deep dive into how to build a guitar like Bernie Rico might have. We're not going to put 87 switches on it, but I have it on halfway decent authority that the Gibson SG was originally supposed to be a neck through guitar, and so that is what we are going to be building. One of the guitars that we are going to be building is actually going to be an SG shape. Of course, it's a Texas Toast guitar, so that means it's the prostitute. Let's look at, I went down to the, get this stuff out of the way here. This is the chunk of board that we are going to be using for our neck blank, for our neck through prostitute guitar. It is actually curly maple, and we're going to modify this and glue it back up so we have an equal opposite book match. We're going to talk a lot about grain orientation and flats on, riffs on, quarters on, things like that, which we've already covered. But I think it bears repeating because a lot of folks don't know what those terms actually mean, and that's one of the things that we're going to cover in this course. We're going to be using a tune-o-matic and stop-tail bridge because we're going to make it just like the Gibson SG. So that's going to mean that our neck angles are going to have to be just right. So for all those of you who want to know a little bit about how to get neck angles exactly right, we're going to do that too. And you can transfer all of this information to your set neck or bolt-on neck instrument. And like I said, don't be surprised if we don't do a video series on those coming up as well. But the first one is going to be neck through because that's what all of my Patreon people wanted to see. So I think that the neck through design has a lot of bonuses, a lot of pluses, a lot of thumbs up if you're doing a guitar like the SG, because then the neck joint doesn't really matter. The neat thing about the SG is that you have unencumbered access to those higher register fret. It doesn't mean that I use them because, like I said, if it's past the 5th fret, I don't ever play there. But for those of you guys who like to do the wheedly stuff, having an SG style guitar where you got lots and lots of room to get into that, those big money frets. If you're at the dusty end of the fretboard, having the ability to get there makes a lot of sense. But when you start to bolt necks to get to bodies, you kind of have to have that extra tongue. When you start to glue necks in, you have to have some of that has to actually be there. And the SG neck joint is notoriously weak, in my opinion. So says me, the SG neck joint is a little bit on the weak side. Lots of guitars have weak neck joints that are set necks to get you higher access. Lots of bolt-ons have that thing in the back, and people say it doesn't get in the way, and it doesn't. But if you want to have the smoothest, strongest neck joint, the neck through is the way to go because there's no neck joint; it's all neck. So we're going to be using this chunk of maple for that one. Simultaneously, I'm actually also going to be building a Fender Telecaster with kind of a unique style of neck through. It's actually going to be a cheaty neck through. This is a piece of 5/4 curly maple, and this is the neck that we're going to use for that. I'm going to show you some ideas about other ways that you could do neck through construction, and we're going to use this for that. And like I said, we're going to do them simultaneously so you can get an idea of what it's like to build a neck through instrument. So yeah, some of the things that we are not going to touch on, we're not going to do a lot of fancy glue up and multi-laminate construction. Not because it's not cool, and you certainly are encouraged to do that on yours, but for the purposes of this project, we want to get the guitars done in a timely manner. So, you know, having a bunch of glue up and laminate stuff, that's kind of a thing for another time. So we're just going to go simple and easy. The other reason is, while I think that's pretty neat, I don't think it's super neat. So we're going to go ahead and keep ours simple. We're going to use just regular old plain curly maple, and we're going to use a standard guitar. You could absolutely punt and do something wacky, or you could do like we're going to do, something a little more conservative. And I think that when you start to make your own guitar, it's all going to make a lot more sense. So yeah, so remember to join me for the Q&A, the neck through Q&A that's going to be happening live in just a few minutes here. And I would also like to encourage everyone to join us on Patreon or YouTube, sign up. And like I said, it's only $1 a month, and there's going to be lots and lots and lots of neat, exclusive content for you guys. If you can't do Patreon though, we totally get it. Share the video as many places as you can possibly imagine. Help us grow the channel that way. And maybe those people will join us on Patreon. I don't know. Or join us on YouTube. We're going to have lots and lots and lots of things to show you. And I think that I'm really looking forward to this project. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun. And I hope that you walk away with some new ideas, maybe some clarification on some old ideas, and I would like to see what you guys make after you watch this or while you're watching it. So thanks for tuning in. Join me live here in just a few minutes for the live Q&A neck through the live neck through Q&A, and I will see you then. So until then, guys, this is Matt at Texas Toast, reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you in just a minute.
I wanna play my guitar the